Hello folks and welcome back. We're at the Nürburgring, the Nordschleife. We're doing the final lap attack, the last of all the 12 tracks, the 12 tests, and we're going to get gold. So here they are, we're going to quickly scroll through them, 1 through to 11, and then the final, all at gold. And then the settings are going to be default ABS, traction control 1, everything else off. Then I'm just going to show you that I was running a 2-second lag on my Ghost. So I've got both Ghosts displayed and I'm going to run a 2-second lag. So my tactic for this one was to get out there, set a lap time as close as I could to the target within 2 seconds, and then run a Ghost 2 seconds ahead of me. And my idea was to chase that Ghost down, get as close to it as I can within the time that I was down on the lap. So you can see it there, 6:38.088. I'm 2:88 over the target. So into the first corner, change down to first, and we're chasing those 2 Ghost cars. We're on it, coming down here. Don't brake for this one, just get into 5th gear, pull it through. Run down to this corner, braking down to 2nd, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, coast over the curbs, then back on the power up to 3rd. Back end slipped a bit there. Go over this curb in 2nd, keep it in 2nd, get the back to rotate round and push on. At the change of tarmac there, change back down to 2nd, hit that curb, then chase down here. Now here's a couple of things I found out today. As we go down here, we're going to change into 6th just before we turn into this next corner. We're going to change it to 6th, lift, run round that, get back on the throttle and chase down my Ghost. So the idea is that I knew where there were a couple of mistakes made by my original run in the Ghost, so they were the targets for me to catch up, and if I was ahead or close by halfway I could try and push on. Fly this corner in 6th gear, brake on the end of the curb on the left, down to 2nd, wait for the car to come under control, see the power and go for the line. Now the key thing about this traction control 1 is you can only apply power when the traction control isn't cut in, and that's about 3 to 5 degrees of steering, it felt like to me. So coming down this corner here, we're just going to click down a gear, coast through the corner down to 3rd, let it roll round the corner, down to 1st, roll round the 1st corner, bit of brakes, bit of throttle, back up to 2nd and try and counteract any slide from the back end of the car. Now this next corner is critical. This is normally a flat out 5th with a little bit of a lift, and there it is, brake on the end of the curve down to 2nd, and we're closing on the Ghost now. We're pushing hard up to 3rd, sometimes I go to 4th, but I left the back end go. Here we go, up to 3rd, back down to 2nd, get as straight as you can before the 2nd apex and drive towards the next corner, into 5th before we hit the dip. There we go, change back down to 4th, try and keep it tight, but I let it go here, car slips out left but I keep it in tight. There we go, keep it in the line, run down to this corner, down to 3rd, let the car roll round the corner in 1st gear and then start to power out the corner. Now we've got our Ghost in sight there. He's not as close as we want it to be, but we'll see where we get to. Don't change up, end of the curbs there, brake down to 2nd, let the car roll round the corner, take a bit of curb, watch that curb on the left, down to 2nd again, power out, don't let the back end slide into the curb. Now the next right hander is a critical one to keep in touch with the Ghost. This left hander's full flat out, but here we go. Today we've got the sunshine and there's 2 little spots of white light come through the clouds on the curb. There where you got to brake. Power on from that apex. Here we go, we're going to chase the car now. The next critical corner is a flat out 6, but you have to change down to 5 and back on the throttle. It feels like you can do it 6, but I'm not brave enough. Made too many mistakes, so I'm used to it in the 5th. Here we go, it's the next sweeping left-hander. So we've got the Ghost in sight, but he's pulling away from us again. So touch the curbs, change down to 5th and power through the apex, back up to 6th. I know my Ghost made a little bit of a mistake there, so we're going to close in on him now, down to this bend. Change it down to 1st gear to get control of the car. slide it out wide a little bit, then drive hard. If you do that in second gear, you get a lot of slip in the second gear. So first gear works for me. At that little noggin of the curb there, you just change down from fourth to first, dive into the carousel, power hard out. If you change out up into second before you leave the carousel, you have a little bit of a traction problem. So keep it in first till you leave the carousel. This corner down to fourth, let it coast, and then I change down to third here just to keep the car under control. Push hard on the crest, keep it in third, but let the car roll. No brakes, no power. Now we drive hard. This is where I made a change. I was doing this in fourth, but I changed up to fifth now. Then down fourth, third, hit the curbs, over this curb in fourth, and drive hard. Now again on my Ghost here, braking hard there. Oh, I let it slip wide, but the Ghost was having a problem there, and I used that as a little banker to get that little bit closer. So there we are into this corner. Let the back end come round. We're still chasing that Ghost rather than racing him. We're chasing him down. Up to third, up to fourth, down to second. Back end goes a bit here as I go up the hill. Oh, never fun. So here's the next critical corner. You can do this a lot faster than I do it, but as you go off this crest, change down to fourth, tab the brakes, put the power back on and roll around this corner. Now I found myself in the fence on the right, I found myself in the fence on the left, but this time we're good. Over this crest there's a bit of a wobble, up into sixth. Now thread the needle, power it down here and try and spot your braking point, but you're going to change down, dab of the brake, follow around the corner of fifth, back on the throttle, then down to third. Second I did because I felt it was sliding right, and I've been in that gravel so many times. Power around this corner. We took this one in first in the original test, but we're doing it in second today. Here we go. Now round this corner, always a little swine, this pair. I changed down to third, then I came back into fourth. Now we're looking for a target time of around about 5:53. If you're 5:55, you've missed it. 5:52.5. We're half a second in, folks. Chase that Ghost down. Now I'm within the 2 seconds on the Ghost, but I've got to close it down a bit more. But we're not going to do that down the straight because he's doing exactly the same as I am. As he come off that corner correctly, you're not going to gain. It's all on the braking point here. So in this weather condition, sometimes you get cloudy, sometimes you get sunny. In this cloudy, it's a sunny condition, you need to brake on the gap in the shadows. Just there, down to second. Now I changed down a bit too early, I think, but I've caught it. Down to first for this corner. Try and hit that apex. Don't hit the fence though. Now drive hard for the line and we'll see what we get. We know what we get because we're watching the video. We've done it, folks. We're in by almost half a second. If you look at that, my original was a 6:38.088 and I've done that by a 6:37.288. We're in, folks. We've done it, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without the live stream last night. And some of you people joined, and it's really appreciated that you joined us. Thank you very much, folks. I appreciate the time you take to watch the videos. I know some of you are doing it to learn and see what to do, but some of you are also doing it because you genuinely want to just watch. So thank you very much. I appreciate every single subscribe, like and comment. And I was just going to show you what happens at the end here, folks, when you get the 5 million for your trophy. And there it is. And it took me 1,200 miles to complete that. Thank you very much, folks. It's not easy. See you on the next one.